Norwich have come from nowhere.
Yeah.
And I've put together a really decent side. It's been interesting to see with all the stuff about Leeds and Beasler and what they've
The talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yes, it's Clips of the Week time, and we kick off with the Moose at Brentford versus Barnet with a multiple choice question for Martin Allen.
In towards Canos inside the penalty area, Martin, and he's gone down. Now, is it a penalty, is it not a penalty, or is it neither?
Don't really need the last one, do you really? I think we're one or two.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have done the job.
This is Big Sam on breakfast now, and sometimes the words just don't come.
It's a simple human error on the night, and of course with such big stakes at stake.
Yes, I tell you what, I'm listening to that. I think I might go and get a steak on my way. I'm quite hungry now.
Fillet or ribeye?
I'm not sure. I'm quite hungry now. So, next up, it is Ian Holloway recalling one of the most famous FA Cup goals of all time. Well, sort of.
Well, to me, as a young man, sat watching a black and white telly, and I watched one of the best goals I've ever seen by a Huddersfield, by a Hereford player. Ronnie Radford smashed it in a situation. I think who was it against?
Who could possibly forget that Huddersfield goal against? Who was it against? Of course, it was Newcastle, wasn't it?
Now here's the incomparable Mike Parry talking Liverpool.
He's got Liverpool to a very much improved position they were when he got there. A bit like Mr. Pacino has at Spurs.
Mr. Pacino?
Yeah, it's like one of my favourite actors, Al Pochettino.
Just when he thought he was out, they brought him back in again. So, let's cross to Beaky at the Etihad for team news.
Fernandinho pushes into midfield with Ilkay Gundogan and David Silva. Sadio Mane pushes up front. Raheem Sterling not in the starting lineup. And Sergio Aguero and Bernardo Silva.
Sergio Aguero.
Sadio Mane. That's played for Man City.
He went a bit Jeffrey Boycott there as well, didn't he? Look, to be fair, Andy, it was good, but it was no Liz Saul, was it?
No.
David Beckham will be officially presented an LA Galaxy player tomorrow night. He and Posh leave Britain for America this afternoon. Bex is following the footsteps of some of sport's biggest names, such as Johan Cruyff, Franz Beckenbauer and George Best.
She works for FIFA now.
Beckham...
Yeah, she works for FIFA. Went straight there.
Some of the sport's wrongest names.
Does all the press with Franz Beckenbauer. Big friend of his.
This is Sam Matterface at West Brom versus Brighton.
Well, maybe one team do want to win it. There is going to be a change, and if you need a goal, and you're Brighton and Hove Albion, you usually turn to this man, Nigel Pearson.
It's gone wide.
Surely it has.
Yeah, surely they don't bring Nigel on, really. I mean, I know they put out a second-string squad, but and also he's not going to score for Brighton. He's a West Brom fan.
He doesn't want to score against the Baggies.
He's definitely going to go wide if he gets into a goal-scoring position. Anyway, talking of our own Nigel Pearson.
As Wolves play the ball into the penalty area, keeper's there, and Wolves have equalised. They're appealing for a foul on the referee.
Well, that's a great show of solidarity.
That's a definite red card, a foul on the referee.
A foul on the referee, you might get away with it, really. As long as you don't clap sarcastically when he goes down.
Paolo Di Canio.
Yeah.
Back to Big Sam now on breakfast.
Yeah.
It'll come back again to.
Steak?
Yeah, it could be steak. Maybe
steak.
It all comes back to steak.
Eventually, it all comes back to steak.
Ribeye or fillet or whatever you fancy. Tomahawk, possibly, if you're really hungry. Here's Alan Brazil with a competition.
Cristiano Ronaldo left Real Madrid for Juventus in 2018 for £105 30 million.
That's interesting. I was thinking I didn't even know it was 30 million. But the 105 quid was probably the limo, wasn't it, to the airport to get him on the plane to Turin. £105 and 30 million. I think we do all transfers like that.
Now a rare one. It's Adrian Durham with goal news.
So Norwich 2 apiece, Leeds 2-1 up, having been 2-1 down. Interesting times.
Not just interesting, it's virtually impossible, I would have thought. Is that great fanzine, the old Arsenal, wasn't it? 2-1 down, 2-1 up. Would never have made sense.
No.
Time now for the talkSPORT Corner of the Week. 2 extra time.
Are you having Sarri or not? What's the score, mate? Are we going to move this on? How is it going to improve for Chelsea?
Hello, is this me?
It's you, Mark.
Oh, right. No, I just said I'm on the motorway. I've got to pull over. Do you want to come back to me?
Talk Sport Caller of the Week.
The hard shoulder can be dangerous.
In your own time, mate. Don't worry about it.
It's Nigel Botherway on Fisherman's Blues now, and he gets an odd email.
As somebody has questioned, hasn't put his name, is questioning spending $2 million of licence payers' money on otter fencing.
Otter fencing? How do they grip the sword?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Couldn't imagine.
I'd watch it, though, wouldn't you, if it was on?
I would.
I'd love to have Martin Kellner do 5 minutes on the otter fencing.
It's good.
What do you? I mean, they have different sorts, don't they?
Epee and foil.
Yeah, that'd be... Well, I'd watch it.
What an act they were. Yeah,
maybe they don't mean that, though. Thinking about it, it probably doesn't mean that.
It doesn't mean that.
No, OK. It's almost like we deliberately misconstrued it, wasn't it?
It's possible that we did.
This is Craig Shakespeare on the Jim White Show.
I always remember the occasion where we were in America, name dropping again.
Oh, we've all been to America. Oh, what was that like?
Oh, I see you're American. Go Italy.
So we've all been there. Name dropping America. Right, Craig, get over yourself, mate. Of course not. This is Adrian Durham and Goffey on Drive.
Who is Susanna Gill?
Well, she's 34-year-old.
I think she'll be interesting the WNBA, won't she?
30 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's fantastic. 30-foot 4-year-old. I mean, imagine how tall she's going to be when she's about 18. She'll walk in.
Yeah.
She'd walk into the women's NBA.
Here's racing expert Lee McKenzie talking Equine Fly with Ali McCoist and Dean Saunders on Breakfast.
It's not a case of whether the other horses are infected, but whether or not they might be. And of course, as with humans, the horses may well not be showing any obvious symptoms.
And you can't ask them, can you?
Well, you can.
It won't do you any good.
Well, unless it's Mr. Ed in the 3:30 at Utoxeter. You haven't got a fighting chance, have you, really? Yeah. And finally, Andy, give us the final one.
It's Alan Brazil chatting about a Chelsea youngster.
Chelsea legend Zola has pleaded with goal scorer Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Odeo?
Odeo.
Oh, I like this one.
There we are, lovely.
Good.
There's your clips of the week. And thank you to all the people who send them in. I've got quite emotional.
That's a bit of rugby league, wasn't it?
Oh, thanks very much for sending them in. Ruthless.
Yes.
Gavin Allen. Mark Shaw. I can't do it. Mel Drew. Richie Hawkins. Richie Hawkins.
Mel Drew.
Yeah, somebody called Mel Drew.
Yeah, sure.
Is that you?
No.
It's probably you.
Could be, but it isn't.
Oliver Hunter. Mickey Boyd. Dave Ellis. Arnold Anderson. Ken Mallon. Sounds like a chief executive of a rugby league club. Yeah. Ken Mallon. David Clark, Roger in Durham, and Richard. Thanks for everybody who sent in clips that were played this week.
Newcastle must deserve an enormous amount of credit about the way they approached that game. Do you think, other teams in the Premier League could have looked at that performance and said, if we go about it the right manner and they're not firing, then we've got a chance?
I think Newcastle were a great point in case,